What is going on, guys? It's your boy Slick, and today we're talking about the T95E1 once more. Now, this is in Sim. This is a Sim battle replay that I had yesterday, and wow. I'm not going to say they dropped the ball on this, but I don't understand it. So, Gaijin put the T95E1, a 8.0 new MBT, or medium tank, for America in the 7.7 event for Sim. If you don't know how Sim works, Sim has a list of usable vehicles for each event. They have a 7.7 event, they have a 7.0 event. But the event I'm talking about in specific has like the Mouse, the Yag Tiger, the IS-4, and it's Russia versus everybody else. And what they did was put the T95 in as, as a NATO tank. T95 has some of the best armor on a medium tank in the game. My tank is stock here, aside from parts and FPE, and you will still see some pretty crazy stuff, just bounces in general. This tank isn't as armored as, say, an IS-6 in hindsight, because this tank has very weak flat sides. Very, very weak flat sides. But other than the weak flat sides, the frontal armor on this thing is almost impenetrable by heat in most places, especially the upper front plate. If you're hulled down, everything's going to have trouble penning you unless they can hit your cupola, and that's even magnified more when you're playing sim battles where hitting cupolas is tough. This thing also gets APFSDS, which negates any armor that Russia gets. I mean, the APFSDS is a fantastic round. It goes through everything, especially on this 90 mil. It has like 320 mils of pen, but the post-pen effects are super, super good. So yeah, they put it in the 7.7 event. I think this thing should be in the 8.0 event, and I'd be happy with it. I don't think it'd be under-tiered, and I don't think it would be hard to play. It gets 2 spawns, it has that gun, and it would be fighting things that can kill it. But the way it works now is it's easy to kill when you're at its side, but if you're facing it front on, if somebody knows what they're doing in this thing, it will absolutely murder you. I mean, insanely bad. It really did break this kind of matchmaking. Russia had kind of a good thing going here. I don't understand why they wouldn't put the M103 in this event and keep this out. The M103 is, for all intensive purposes, a worse tank than this, and it would get 1 spawn. I think, and it's 7.7. I think that thing should have been in the thing the entire time. But you're gonna watch just how hard this thing hits people. So one of the guys on the Discord is also in one that I'm playing with. And just the upper front plate of a T-54, no problem. Just right through, dead. And you could say, well, what's the difference with heat? Well, in this round, in this event, you don't usually get heat. There's like 1 tank that gets heat on the Allied side. I mean, 2. There's the M47, I guess you have the M56 and like the Type 61. But other than that, everything else has AP rounds, especially for Germany. They don't really get many rounds that can pen these T-54s super well. And then you just throw in this wild card and it just dunks on everybody. They don't know what to do. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts. If you guys have played this tank, you'll definitely understand what I'm talking about. But let's talk about what I'm doing in the match here. I don't want to bore you guys with a little bit of a rant about this BR too long. So I pushed down the left side behind A. I didn't grab cap, and that's what I usually do. I'll grab cap most of the time depending on what happens. But then we come up behind 2 tanks. I kill a 906 and just backshot that T-54 there. I saw him aiming down the street on his cap. We're going to continue to push behind our lines and try to go help at C. Oh, I believe it's C. I can't see it. The screen's so small right now, but we're going to go help at C and see what's going on with the rest of the enemies. So, you know, flanking in this thing is pretty viable. Again, this thing's stock, so it's moving pretty quick. Not like super quick. 20 kph isn't anything to write home about, but the fact of the matter is this thing is almost impenetrable from the front with AP rounds. So I would definitely recommend it. It really is a good grind. I think it's a pretty fascinating vehicle to play. And this gun, any gun that has APFSDS, if you guys have never used it in game, just try to use a tank with those rounds at some point or grind for one, because when you shoot a tank, it's the most satisfying feeling ever. It hits so hard. You shoot it and it's like the round is there in a second, like less than a second. It's almost instant, and then the tank just evaporates. It hits so goddamn hard. It's fantastic. But we're moving into cap here. I think I saw a guy and it looked like the Centurion. So I let him go. Well, I didn't really have much of a choice. And then the T-54 drives right in front of us, so shot to the side, no problem. Right through the ammo rack there and kill him. And then we wait on cap while we reload. This thing has a pretty fast reload, too. That was an enemy tank. Never mind. So the enemy tank comes out, and I shoot a shot, but my breach was out, I believe, so it didn't go anywhere. And I decided to sit here and repair. Now we get to see what the T95 looks like from a perspective view, because I'm going to be watching my friend who is trying to kill this T-54. Look at that tank, though. It looks so good. So he's putting shot after shot into him. Another thing that's funny about this tank is the gun sight is underneath the barrel on the right-hand side. So you have to aim left and right, and then the parallax, you have to actually aim above things that you want to shoot. Or below things? I think below things. Yeah, that's how the gun sight would work. So it's pretty it's pretty odd. It's like a weird placement. It's not underneath it by a lot, but it is slightly lower than where the gun is, and not many tanks have that. Look at that tank, dude. It's such a good-looking tank. And he got killed by the 906, and there we go. Sweet dreams, Slick. See you later. Oh, no. Yeah, 906 flanked us and gave us a good old tug, man. No bueno. So I'm going to spawn back up, obviously. And I am bushed out, by the way. If anybody's curious, I get a lot of comments with people who say, how do you have so many bushes on your tanks? When bushes first came out, you could buy packs of bushes. So you could put 6 of the same type on. So when it came out, I could buy a pack of bushes for $500 or 500 gold. Not $500. And I bought a couple of them. So I have a couple different variations of the bushes, and they're all 6 packs. So like if I use my bushes, I can use 6 of each kind. So that's the whole thing. They didn't take them away from people because they bought them at the time, which wouldn't be cool. But so they just changed the payment method. Need some coffee to wet the whistle. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to plow around this line. We're losing by tickets severely now, so I noticed that. And enemy team's capping A, so we're going to move in behind A and try to decap here. Now, instead of going directly in, I'm just going to flank again. Just be cautious and try to get those easy back shots in the enemies, because it's nice. Check the corners. It's always hard to check corners in Sim. And this is another reason why I tell you guys to play medium tanks in Sim. Do you see how I have 2 spawns? Like, with a tank that has almost as much armor as a heavy tank, it just makes sense. It feels right to play these. I made that video in hopes that people would stop playing heavy tanks. But at the same time, I know I made a mouse video very, soon after, I think the day after. And a lot of people got upset about the fact that I made a heavy tank video after making a heavy tank video. See where that see where that shot went? It's interesting. I was trying to learn how to shoot it. But the reason I did that is because the mouse is a usable tank in Sim. It has so much armor in this event that it can't really get killed by a lot of things. Basically, only the 906 is really effective at killing it, and the Type 62. So if you play a tank like that in the Sim event, it's very helpful if you know what you're doing. But if you play a tank like, say, the T29 or something, you're not going to be that effective. And that was basically the whole point of this. And here we go for the ace. Going to shoot this T-54 in the back of the turret. How you doing, my man? And I get shot right there. And I didn't know what shot me, but I found out what shot me after. And this is something we'll talk about too, because I was very upset about this. So you see I'm looking behind me, like what could have shot me? No idea what could have shot me. Put a shot in the T-54 again. Nothing's hitting me anymore. Don't know what shot me. And the mouse comes out, shoots him twice, and I kill him. Now watch this. Watch what happens next in this video. I lost my shit in real life when this happened. I got very, very mad, but I figured I'll just make a video on it. You guys do what you want to do about it, but I'm just saying this wasn't fun for me. So we need to cap A, right? We're down, but we can win this. I have the rest of my tank. I have my full crew left with 2 tanks on the ground, me and this mouse. Just take a look at what happens. I'm repairing. We're almost done. Didn't know what shot me still, but I think I have a good understanding of what actually did shoot me. So I'm about to repair. I drive forward, getting ready to go cut enemies off. Take the rest of the cap. And we're going past A. I don't see anything, which is curious. I'm just looking around. You see my path of trajectory, right? You see where I'm going? I'm going to go cap C right now. That was my plan. So I'm going to check my right and get ready to cut across the map. Remember, 2 tanks left on the team. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to let you guys do what you want to do. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace. We lost that game, by the way. Surprise.